Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for joining me, YBC Youth Building Conversation, Luana Hodges. This evening, I am sitting down with Jamilah
Amal.
Amal. Okay,
Mhm.
as you can, if you watch any of my interviews, you know that I mess up a lot of names. I do. I don't know
It's
if it's
okay.
I don't know if it's my because I'm from Jersey. I don't know, but I do tend to mess up. So I just want to make sure Amal. Jamalia, Jamalia
I make it easy.
Amal.
You can call me Mila for short.
Mila, that's it. I like that. Like, and
Boom.
everybody call me Lou because they mess up my name too. So that's great. I love it. I love it. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
That's great. Let me tell you, y'all, I've been trying to get this young woman on my platform for a minute, and she's finally here, gracing us with her platform. I'm going to tell you what she got to talk about and how she came up with the names is awesome. Is really awesome. But before we get into our interview, can you open us up in a word of prayer, please?
Yes, yes, I can. God, I want to thank you for bringing us here today. I want to thank you for divine timing, Lord, because I trust you in all my steps. I ask that you guide this interview to speak my words from you through me and just continue to guide us on the right path. Amen and Ashe.
Amen, amen, amen. So as you can see, it didn't happen this way, but we both got on t-shirts with some powerful sayings. Okay, so mine is Bay, black and educated. And what yours say?
Thou shalt not try me.
Okay, amen. Amen. You know,
Move 24/7.
amen. Just because we Christians, look, don't try
Hey,
us.
okay,
So
okay.
I always ask the person that I'm interviewing, who is Mila?
Well,
Miller.
Mila is a a new woman. She is a woman that created herself. And with me creating myself, most times when people think, creating yourself, sometimes it's easy to create yourself in a false image of what you want to be accepted as or what you think it would look good to be as. And Mila is walking in her truth. So that's who
Okay.
Mila is today.
Okay. I see this interview is gonna get deep. Okay.
Oh Lord,
I
I get a little deep with it.
I see this interview gonna get deep.
Yes, 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 yes. I
So
don't know
how
no
has
other way.
okay? So how has the past 2 years affected you during COVID-19? Even though we're still thriving in COVID-19, people don't think so, but we still have COVID-19 out here, and people is really still catching it and dying from it. They're
Yes.
just not talking about it as much. But how did the past 2 years affect you?
Um, I will say on the financial end, I was blessed to still be able to work because I work for the post office. So, rain, hail, sleet, snow, pandemics, we're on the front lines working. So I will say on that aspect, it was a blessing. But on the other end of it, it was really my time to focus. And I know that may seem, a little backwards, but the world for me was always just so fast paced.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to keep up, trying to keep the bills paid, trying to keep the lights on, try to keep food on the table. And once the world slowed down, it really gave me a time to put more time and energy into myself and into my family because I
Okay.
didn't have the other things, I still had to go to work, but of course, the work wasn't as strenuous because of everything that was going on in the rest of the world. And it really just helped me get back grounded and
Okay.
really started making me think about what do I want, the next 5 to 7 or 10 years look like. I know that normally, we plan and say, oh, I'm gonna put in money for retirement, and when I retire, I'm gonna do this. But That's just the basic level of it, you
Mm,
know. So the pandemic really helped me get back to my family, and I ended up, truth be told, like walking away from so much.
wow.
I walked away from so much. I downsized my home. I turned my car back into the bank. I took a lower paying salary, anything just to get me back grounded, to get back to my family. Because now it's easy to say, your kids were home all day, you know where they are. But at the end of the day, my kids were cooped up in the house.
Yeah,
And that mentally can really do something to you. So
yeah.
it put me in a different shift and a different level of motherhood, to be honest.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So I want to shout out all the postal workers. My daughter works for the postal service as well in
Nice,
DC,
nice.
and being a new kid on the block, it ain't easy.
It's not.
It's
It's
not.
not.
It's and I give y'all. I give y'all a lot of respect and huge kudos because I just see her
Thank you.
coming. She's 28. I just see her coming in, and she's tired, and she got to work late. They don't
Yes,
care. You got to deliver that mail. They don't care what neighborhood it's in. The dogs are out.
baby.
That people got to get their mail. So,
Yes, it's
kudos,
really.
kudos.
Thank you, and tell her to keep pushing, but also tell her, if this not what she wants to continue to do, use it for what she can use it for. Because the post office is a great place, and I've been there almost 15 years.
Wow.
But even in that time and seeing how things change, what it really shows is that you really are just a body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When they didn't put too much, and I know we're getting a little off track, but they didn't put too much stuff in the front news pages about how many of our people were passing away from continuing to be out on the street, to continuing to, functioning and things. And it was a lot to take on, because the only thing they were caring about was to get that job done. And they treat us like the military. So if she's fresh on it and being tired, tell her, think about it as in the military, and you just got to keep pushing.
Yeah, yeah, sure
Yeah.
will, sure will, sure will. So, in saying that, can you name 5 adjectives that describe yourself?
Uh, let's see. I'm determined. I'm open minded. Um, I'm very intuitive. Um, hmm, I'm loving. Um, what's one more that I can think about? What's one more that I can think about? I want to say caring, and I know loving and caring can go. Some people can say it can go in the same category, but it doesn't for me. So I say caring.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you, y'all, when she shot me over her bio, it was so much meat in her bio. And for me, when I interview somebody, I do take the time out and research them. I do. I meditate on their questions because the questions is about me getting the best out of the person that I am interviewing and getting it out to my viewers because you never know where connections can come. So
Hmm.
that's what that platform is about, just connecting folks. So when I was reading your bio, and when you start off in the first sentence, with all your training and your degrees, that's geared towards journalism, media communications. Now, this young lady have a degree in journalism, media communications. So for those that need anything with media communications, which also form a little bit of marketing, this your girl right here. This your girl right here. Do you think your training has landed you in the space you presently sitting in right now?
Yes. If you had asked me that before the world shut down, I would have said absolutely not, because I don't work in the field that I went to school for. And that was more so because I was a single mom. I was a teenage mom. So I had my first child at 17. So even with me graduating on time, already working, I put myself through school and I got my degree. I graduated top five in my class, but ultimately I had to be a mom.
Right.
And my son has an immune deficiency, which also, put a lot of back and forth hospital stays, visits, and things of that nature. So my motherhood, my role in motherhood came first. So I had to put those credentials on the back burner. Plus, at the time, when I graduated, more of the jobs to get into like the radio stations and things was, word of mouth and free internships, and I can't buy diapers and formula, off of free stuff. So I will say that I'm thankful that I had that training though, because as things progress with technology, now I can do this on my own through my
Yeah.
phone.
Right.
I don't need to go to someone's studio or, like I very much would like to do things down the line, but now I have all of these things I can just order on Amazon and do on my own, degree or not.
Right.
But having the training just really helped me, with the being on camera and, paying attention to different things, making sure that my dialect is coming out clear. So it definitely helped in the long run. Who would have thought it would help me in this way, but it definitely helped.
Great, great. So in 2020, you begin a journey of healing yourself. Can you
Yes.
explain what you needed to be healed from? And as a result of your healing, what was birthed out?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, when I read that question, I did the exact same thing I just did. Like, whew, like how long is this interview? Cause shoot, I don't know. I don't, but what I will, to sum it up as much as I can, I had a psychotic break. I'm gonna be very honest with you. In the spiritual community, we'll say I had a spiritual awakening. On the other realm of it, we'll say that I had a psychotic break. But at the same time, my son was also going through his own mental breakdown. And I'm to be honest with you, all of us were. I have three children. All of us collectively were feeling the effects of a lot of things that have went on with us. I have dealt with domestic violence from childhood onto my young adulthood, into my relationships. Um, I dealt with the loss of my grandmother, which was a big blow. And that just like pushed me over the edge, so to speak. Because, as most Black families, the grandmother holds everything together. You know what I mean? She's definitely the matriarch. And the relationship that I had with her through my traumas and abuse and drug use and struggling with being a young mom, a young single mom, and things of that nature. It took a lot. It took a lot. And I ultimately, my son was, he was doing a short stay in a mental health care facility. And I had my first Reiki therapy session scheduled. I had never tried this method before. I really didn't have a lot of knowledge about it, but it was just, I needed to do something. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And at this point, it's not just about me. It's about me. It's about my children. So surprisingly enough, God works in mysterious ways, because the appointment that I had for my therapy session, my car had broke down the day before. I didn't think I was going to be able to make it to the hospital to visit my baby. I made it all the way up there to see him, and then my appointment with my therapist, which I had no clue was directly across the street from his mental health facility. So I always believe, in God's divine connection with things, and that started my journey. That first appointment, just in a matter of seconds, took
Mhm.
so much weight off of me, mentally and emotionally. But that was just like the tip of the iceberg, because it wasn't an easy thing. to deal with. But I was dealing with a lot. I was dealing with a lot. I didn't even have time to really grieve. I have lost brothers. I had a brother murdered. I lost one brother when I was pregnant with my second child. So you just trauma. I've been homeless. I've slept in my car. I've bounced from couch to couch, all types of things. And at some point, we all reached that point where we just had enough. And it just so happened that for me and my family unit, that was the beginning of the pandemic. But it was ultimately our biggest blessing for it to happen in that moment, because now I could really put in the time to focus and regroup.
Yeah. So going through your healing,
Hmm.
you also became a Reiki
A Reiki master,
a
yes,
Reiki master petition. So can
yes.
you explain what it is and actually what do you do?
Okay,
This more so for me because I mean
gotcha.
I didn't know. So
So Reiki healing, it actually originates out of Japan, but it's a practice on energy.
mm,
Um, the best way that I describe it is, have you ever heard of your chakras?
yes.
So Reiki is basically the healing work and energy work for those chakras. Because your crown is what connects you to God. Your third eye is what allows you to listen to God. Of course, your throat speaks. Your heart loves. Your solar plexus is like your personality. Um excuse me, your solar plexus, your sacral, which I always focus on a lot, especially for women. That's where our creativity space comes from. Of course, that's where we create life. So everything we create, male or female, comes out of our sacral. And then, at the feet is our root. So Reiki healing is basically me using my energy, putting you in a calm state, like, meditation, so to speak. But it's been comfortable enough to share energy, and I'm basically helping you pull that energy to open up. Because as long as your chakras are open and aligned, that means that you're connected with God,
Mm,
spirit, however you want to word it. And all those things align is what helps us function every day,
okay.
mentally, physically, emotionally. So the practices that I do chakra readings, basically letting you know the status of your chakras. There are other practitioners that go deeper to like tap into your energy and help you clear out those traumas and things with the healing. I just choose not to, because I've been on a self healing journey, and I understand the power of the healing of myself. I'm willing to go as deep as to show you the things that you may need to work on and guide you from there. But I don't believe that spiritual work is like a quick fix, because
Okay.
ultimately it's all within the power of self for me. If I give too much power to another individual to heal me, or make me feel better, am I really, putting the work into myself, or am I being codependent on another energy to pull me through?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So in becoming a Reiki master
Hmm.
petitioner, how did that lead to you becoming the founder, CEO of Spiritual TrapHouse? And how was that business created?
Well,
And what is it? Explain what is it? I seen you in
so,
action. I seen you in action. So, but for
yes,
those that have not,
Spiritual Trap House is plain and simple for me. I'm a chick from Southeast. I used to live in Brooklyn. I used to be up in Jersey and Asbury Park. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Spiritual Trap House for me is me giving my girls from those side of the tracks, you know what I'm saying, an example, and showing them that it's not just segregated to a certain type. And also because within the Black community, a lot of the spirituality and things that we were shown coming up did not look like us. You know what I mean? It did not look like us. Anything with us being spiritual, cultural, things of that nature was putting us in a negative stereotype, right? Um, and honestly, like one day I was doing a meditation session with a sister group, and the idea just came to me, and I was just like, yeah, I'm spiritual, but I still be, I still be in the hood. Like I still now my trap house, isn't, producing drugs or, anything negative within my community. My trap house is giving out good energy, it's giving out, encouraging words, it's giving out spiritual counseling. And it's basically creating a safe space for those of us that, like I said, I have been in the more, in the hood, we'd be like, oh, this somebody bougie, right? But I don't even look at it that way. I feel like everybody has had their different paths in life, and there are some traumas and things that somebody may not understand coming from a different path. And for those of us that have dealt with, the traumas that we've dealt with, especially in the hood, we need something outside of the resources that they're giving us. And it may be different, but I'm willing to be that person to show us something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gonna rap? You gonna rap something? I mean, I'm just saying.
I
I'm just
don't
saying because
rap.
on your bio it says music. You know the music heals the
Yes.
soul. So I'm thinking when I'm from Jersey. Grew up grew up with hip hop. Love it to death. So when you say Brooklyn, Jersey,
Yes.
DC. I'm like, okay, she about to rhyme.
No, actually, look, if I could, look, sometimes I'll be on my Issa Rae. You might catch me in the mirror dropping a couple bars on them. You know what I mean? Shoot, one day I might have a mixtape. I'm thinking about doing a meditation mixtape, whatever comes with it. But but what I do is music therapy because as a child, music was my outlet from my abuse. And I've used that method to help me. That's my coping mechanism for my traumas and when I can't deal with the outside world. And for us, for the Black community, music was always our thing. You know what I mean? All of, even from the music back in the day with our parents, all of our music, Saturday morning, Sunday morning, mama, grandma, auntie, whatever, got up, she blasted her music. She fed her soul with her music. She played her music while she cleaned, while she cooked. That was our therapy. And for me, that became my therapy so much because that's what I used to drown out the outside world.
Yeah.
I needed something to help me escape from the outside world. And I had TV as an adult now. I don't even have TVs in my home. All we do is listen to music, we create. So I started showing people how to use the music as their therapy session, but in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, Spiritual TrapHouse, yeah, I might put on, some hip hop. My kids get me hip to some of the new artists and stuff. I listen to some of the new stuff too, but I also have taught them the balance of how to take in the energy from your music too.
Yeah.
Have your moment because you know how they always say, the music affects us mentally. You see how they did with NWA and all of that. And yeah, music is a very powerful thing. We don't always need to be listening to stuff that's going to have us ready to bust somebody upside their head. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But not to the point that you got to shy away from enjoying it either.
Right.
Because ultimately, some of those songs and things are reality.
Yeah.
It's things that we can't get away from, but it's just to show us a different way how to take our music and make it work for us and really feel that energy.
Yeah. I love music. I
Yes.
love all. I love hip hop. My girlfriend
Yes.
can tell. My girls be like, "What you, Luana? What's that?" I'm like, "I don't know, something the kids listening to." But I mean, I like it. I like the beat.
Yes.
So I half the time I don't know what the words they say. I'm just
Yeah.
being
As long
honest.
as I get
I
the
don't
beat
know.
in.
Right. I love the beat. I can groove off of the beat. So for me, the
Mm-hmm.
beat is everything in a song.
Yes, that's what we
Until
hear first.
right, until my daughter be like, you know, they saying da 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 da, and I be like, oh, really? Maybe I
Well,
shouldn't be. Maybe I shouldn't be listening to that. Maybe I shouldn't be listening to that. You know what I'm saying? So you're
yes,
right. Music is very powerful because it can make you angry. It can make you mad. It can make
yes,
it can make you sexual. I'm just being honest.
everything. It can.
Everything. It can. Put some Marvin Gaye on. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You know, all that sexual healing and stuff. The old timers talk about our music, but I done heard
Okay.
some music from my mama, and I'm like,
Okay.
is he saying what I think he's
Look,
saying? And she be
that
like, yeah,
old
right, exactly.
mm, that old blues and with the ragtime blues and stuff my mother used to play on Saturday mornings. I'm like, what? Meet me with your black drawers on. What are you talking about? But y'all talk about us.
Exactly. In our music.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like, oh, okay. You know, that new song that's out now. I know we getting off the topic, but I gotta
No,
say
no,
it.
no.
Let me tell you, I mean, any old time place that I be going, I hear this song, something meeting my side chick, a side piece. And I'm like, what in the world?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's
I'm like, my mother said, here go my mother. There's a line dance to that song too. Really?
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
I just be like, okay,
Right.
okay. But you know what I teach is the power in your words. You know, manifesting and speaking things into existence. So even when I'm listening to my music now, the further I go with my studies and things, I have stopped listening to certain lyrics because I don't want to transmute that type of energy. You know what I mean? Or even speak that type of energy to existence. I'm past, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
past that emotion.
Yeah.
But it's nothing to, especially with me at work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Especially at work. I keep my headphones on, I keep the music blasting, helps me get through my day.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So I know you do a lot in the community. So do you think you can call yourself a mentor?
Yes, I do. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. I guess on the humble side, I've not given myself too many titles, even though I'm comfortable with speaking on what I do. But I would say that I'm a mentor because I've actually been mentoring somebody for over a year. Before I even opened Spiritual TrapHouse, I was mentoring a young lady out of Virginia.
Okay.
And she just so happened to see me on Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, excuse me, Instagram. Um, through another page and started following me. And I was just really getting into my practice and things. And she allowed me, to mentor her. Every month we met, at least twice a month, did sessions and things. And now she's like a successful business owner out in VA doing her own thing. And that type of accomplishment, is a lot. And it still took me a while. I promise you, up until I read your question, I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I am a mentor. Because I don't approach anything. I don't approach anything with that intent to be like, oh, I'm mentoring you, or oh, I'm still learning how to look at myself as a business. Even though that's exactly what it is, but ultimately for me, the intent is really just to help my people. So
Okay.
I'm learning how to be more of a businesswoman in it, but I want my intent and my message to be understood before. I always say it's my purpose over my profit. So I've been doing a lot of work, and I promise you my client list is very small. You know what I mean? I don't have no big checks coming in, but I have been blessed, to not want or need for anything. So that alone is enough for me. Whatever God has for me past this, cool. I'm not even looking at the dollars amount right now. I'm just doing what I'm asked to do and hoping that the results is, pleasing.
Okay, so you went into one of my questions.
Okay.
So what you're doing now, with your, because it's a business, with your business, is it your purpose or your passion or both?
Both. Both.
Okay.
Because with this journey, I've found out new things about myself. I've figured out new passions within myself and new gifts within myself. Um, because being a victim of domestic violence and abuse, period, we're easy to be in that people pleasing stage,
Mm,
right? It's easy for me to want to um, adhere to whatever it is that you need to make you happy, and that will result in most abuse victims normally overexert themselves too much, to the wrong people. So when I was moving into this new space and this new role, I had to find a balance within that, because ultimately I want to give, I want to give myself and be there for people, but I had to learn the boundaries and those things too.
okay.
But it definitely, yeah.
Both. Okay.
It's definitely both.
Okay. So now I'm gonna go back to the mentoring. So
Mhm.
you are a mentor.
Mhm.
What you're doing with your platform, your presence on social media, you are mentoring people. That's why they're being drawn to you.
Yep.
So who is your mentors? Who is your covering? Who covers you?
Well, I have I call them my big sisters. Um the first woman, Catherine Searcy, she was the start of my journey. She was actually my first Reiki session and things. And she took me under her wing, showed me a lot, taught me a lot. Um, and I'm thankful for that. And along the way, I met another young lady, Clarity. She has her own business as well, but she's more, I don't want to mess up her degree, but I know she has a degree dealing with therapy and stuff like that. So she's taking her Reiki practitioner to a whole nother level,
Okay.
right? And like my mentor, Catherine, is over in Puerto Rico now
Okay.
doing work. So I have these really dope, strong sisters behind me. I have a very close tie with my cousin, Tamika Manley. You
Yeah.
interviewed her
Yeah.
with her
Yeah.
program, and her and I like
Yeah.
Thelma and Louise, Laverne and Shirley. So those women alone, those are like my main, but those are the women that really give me, along with a few others, but I've built a sisterhood along
Yeah.
this journey,
That's good.
and created my own soul family.
That's good because everybody need a tribe.
Yeah, even the
Yeah,
healer needs a healing.
yeah. Everybody needs. I'm part of a group, a tribe called Queens, and
Yeah,
yes, everybody need a tribe.
we do.
Everybody, because
Yes.
you can't get through this life by yourself,
As
and
much as we think we
you
can,
can't.
we can't.
You
And I
cannot.
used to feel like I'm gonna have to do this by myself because I had to work through a whole lot of not being able to trust, especially within sisterhood. Especially
Yeah.
within a sisterhood. So it is very important that we have like-minded, people around us that are going to help us hold ourselves accountable, going to help us to grow. It's important to have people in different levels in their life or whatever, because if everybody's doing the same thing, we're on the same page, we're going to move forward, but how fast can we go?
Right.
you
Right.
know
I like that.
so
I never thought about it. I never thought about it that way. That's exactly. That's good. Because as they move, you move. They move, you move. And
mhm,
yeah, I never thought about it that way. So, what have
mhm.
been some of the biggest obstacles that you have faced and you overcame them?
um the biggest obstacles with this journey has, I will say, the trusting of others, because when you are dealing with your mental health, when you are dealing with your spiritual health, those are very vulnerable and intimate places to allow people in. Um, and in black families, we always say, don't tell nobody your business.
Mhm.
What happens in this house stays in this house.
Stays
Don't
in this
nobody need to
house.
know what you're going through. But my grandmother used to always tell me, nobody's going to know your story unless you tell them.
That's right.
How do you expect people to understand you if they don't know you? And if you
Yeah.
walk in your truth, then you'll never have to worry. And with doing that, that puts you in a space that you really have to be open to trust those around you. I have to be able to trust
Yeah.
you with my most vulnerable and traumatic moments. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I've noticed, with all, it doesn't matter what type of community you're in, circle you're in, you're always going to have a few, um, I guess, bad apples, so to speak. And that's why it's important for us to excuse me, have that third eye energy and have that strength in our discernment and connection with
Yep.
God, because we have to be able to pick up on who's for us and who's not for us. Sometimes quicker than other days. You
Yeah.
might not have 2 weeks or 6 months to figure something out. You might only have 2 minutes to figure out if this is a decision that you need to make. But I've noticed that in my earliest stage of going through this healing process, it was very easy for me to gravitate to anything,
Yeah.
that I thought would help. And I really had to slow myself down because, of course, things cost money. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
paying for this course and I'm paying for that course. And
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I need that too. And I'm paying for this class. And next thing you know, you done invested in, so much stuff, but it's still so much work that you have to do within.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what have been some of your biggest achievements?
Well, um, I'm gonna be honest, and it may seem simple, but my biggest achievement is my peace of mind now.
Ooh, nice.
There's nothing monetary, there's nothing tangible that I can say I have accomplished things, like I did become a Reiki master, and I have developed a healthy platform for young adults, youth, giving back in my community. But the biggest thing for me is my peace of mind, because without that, I can't give to others.
Mm, I like that. I like that. So, I gotta ask this.
Hmm.
So, where you're at right now, the space you're in right now, if you was to go back to your younger self, what would you tell your younger self, the one that's going through hell, everything? What would you
Mm.
tell your younger self sitting in the space you are in right now?
I I'm chuckling because I really put a post up about this a few weeks ago, but I posted a childhood picture of me. And what I would tell my younger self is, it's all worth it. It'll all be worth it. I could say, um, when we go through, traumas and things, we tend to have a lot of regrets and resentment behind things. And as much as I went through a lot of unpleasant things within my childhood and things like that, if I knew then that I would reach this point, I probably wouldn't believe it. You know what I
Mm,
mean? So I would really tell her, just hold on, Mila, because this is definitely going to be worth all of this BS in the end.
mm,
So,
I like it. I like it. So, what is next for you? What is next for your journey?
uh, well, I am going to be working on some things over the winter. The first thing I am starting though is a 6 month fast and meditation program. Me even
Okay.
calling it a program, it's just like, okay, I'm just manifesting this into fruition. Because I promise you, I did a 40-day detox prior to my 40th birthdays. I just turned 40 on the
Okay.
13th.
Oh, happy belated birthday.
Thank you. So I headed and asked people to join in. I did a 40-day fast and detox, and it was more so along the lines of the intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
But I did weekly music therapy sessions with a small group for those 6 weeks or whatever. Um, and it was great. Like outside of like the weight loss thing, because I really wasn't doing it for a weight loss journey, but I got more active in walking, exercising. Of course, the healthier eating, clearing my mental space. And right now we're heading into the fall and winter months.
Mm-hmm.
This is where a lot of us, our mental health can really start to gain in on us because we're dealing with the holidays. Excuse me, people are dealing with grief and loss over the holiday season. For
COVID.
me,
COVID's still
yeah,
out here.
still dealing with COVID. Um, and for me personally, like my grandmother passed away September 3rd. So
Mm.
every year leading up to my birthday for the last 5 years is always,
Yeah.
stressful. And then, I get to celebrate, but then I still have um, other loved ones that have passed from September towards the end of the year. Like I had a
Yeah.
brother that passed away 10 days before Christmas. So
Wow.
this is always like a season of mourning for me.
Yeah.
So I wanted to take a different approach, with it and a healthy approach to get through my grieving. So I'm doing a 6 month meditation and fast, and we're just gonna, do more raw fruits and vegetables. Definitely get some forms of exercise in. We're going to tap in every month through music therapy and a meditation, just to check and make sure everybody in the group is doing okay. And then coming out springtime with a clear mind and a clear heart, you
Mm.
know, really starting over fresh. Because for us, I feel like for those of us in the Black community, summertime is our time to shine. Springtime is our time to shine. Winter months, that's our time to hibernate and create.
Mm.
So as we hibernate and create, I don't yeah, we're gonna, get the good plates over the holidays and things, but not consuming so much that because you know how over the holidays or over the winter time, everybody like gains weight
Yeah.
and goes to their whole bound, and it's like, oh, January 1st come,
Yeah.
let me hurry up, get in here so I can get
Yeah.
and it's like, no, we gotta. It's more so just like building a mental and physical discipline, because I'm learning how our foods affect our mental health and
Yeah.
how they affect our body. COVID has really helped me get more disciplined in that too, because I'm a natural healer, and I do have a child that has an immune deficiency, so I'm always trying to find ways for him outside of his medications, of course, to know how to heal his body. You know what I mean? A lot of it is just as simply taking a 30-minute walk,
Yeah.
drinking water instead of a
Yeah.
soda, eating a salad with not a bunch of stuff on it. And it's not about me like trying to promote being a vegan or, you got to do this, but it's about us changing our lifestyle so we can be here longer.
Yeah. I
You
love
know
it.
what
I
I
love it.
mean?
I love it. Um, I don't know if you've seen, it was a young lady that I interviewed, her and her daughter. They live in
Mhm.
Philly. Check that. I'll give you the name after the interview. Check her out. Because she's all clean eating, nothing but clean, and she makes
Yes.
these juices, her all natural juices that heals different parts of your body, and
Yes.
I believe she's into the chakra as well. So
Yeah.
I'll
I
get you her name.
definitely checked it
But
out because
yeah,
I did start that. I did start watching that one yesterday and dozed off because my day starts early. I
yeah,
just have
yeah,
to.
yeah. No, yeah. I interviewed her like maybe a month ago, her and her daughter. But yeah, yeah, check her out. I'll get you
Okay.
the name. You can just go back in my catalog and check her out. So
Okay.
how can my viewers get in contact with you? How can they follow you? As well as how can they be part of that wonderful group that you're talking about? How can we get information
Yes,
on
yes,
what, you
yes.
know?
So although I'm on Facebook, more of my work is put on my Instagram page. So if you have Instagram, you can follow me at Spiritual TrapHouse LLC with an underscore at the end. My page is open to the public. I don't have it private, so all that want to come check out some videos I've done in the past. You want to check out, I always put little funny stuff and things in my stories to get people, going through the day. But if you do want to join the fast, we're starting October 1st. They can hit me up in a DM, just send me their email, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out a mass email with a Zoom link for us to meet on monthly. And of course, I'll keep in contact to let everybody know when we're going to meet. But I'm also going to be taking a fast on social media too. Not too much, because I want to keep engaging with those that may not be participating. But also, I still need to get that breakaway, because social media can really take away from your focus and things too.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to lie, my day starts at like 2:30 in the morning, so I can do my morning prayer, meditation, whatever I need to do in the morning before I have to go to work at 5. And TikTok can easily get a few scrolls from me. So
That TikTok is the devil.
TikTok is lit.
TikTok is bad. It's bad. That's why I try not to go on it, because I find myself
Yeah.
on it, and then I look up. It's 2 hours later, and I'm like,
And I just been thumbing, thumbing, thumbing. I'm like, what? That's
right,
crazy. What? That's funny. What? Send this one to 3, 4 people.
right, exactly.
Yeah. So this time around, when we fast, it's gonna be, and the thing about it is, it's not about you following every little thing that I'm doing, but I've always been the type of child that needed to learn by doing. I am
Yeah,
book smart, and my reading and comprehension was always great. However, when it came to me really learning, I had to learn by seeing and doing. And the
yeah,
only way that I know how to teach and mentor is by seeing and doing. I never want to share or give advice on anything that I have not experienced myself.
yeah.
And I still don't ever want to speak from only my experience, because what might work for me may not work for you. You
Right,
know what I mean? But it's
right.
all in just the encouragement behind it, because I've had young ladies hit me up that I didn't even know was really paying attention to what I was doing, but was hitting me up humbly, giving me, appraisal, commending on a message in one of my videos or something like that. So you never really know who's watching. You never really know who you're going to touch. So,
Right.
but this fast is going to be something big, because for 6 months, trying to do
Yeah.
fruits, vegetables, exercising is about to get cold outside. It's gonna be a challenge, and I promise y'all, it's gonna be a challenge for me too. Because we just getting started. But if I can do it, then hey, I think my
Yeah.
people can do it too.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So before we end, do you have any questions for me?
I would think I did, but I don't, because this has been just
Okay,
like a really dope time. Like,
good.
this is a great way for me to end my day.
Yes, yes. And this platform is here for you, for your business, whatever you got going
Thank
on in the
you.
community. Please let me know. Please use it. That's what it's here for. It's a community platform, just for getting good information out, helping people grow, help people with mental illness, because it's real out here.
It
You know,
is, and
it's a
I and I
lot of
want
people out here. It's a lot
and
of
I
people
want
out here that's dealing.
Yes, and before we leave, I just want my people to know that even if Reiki practitioner work isn't for you, don't fall into the, oh, I'm just crazy. You know what I mean? Don't be too ashamed to go and try to get some form of help. I choose to find a way outside of the therapy offices and things, because I feel like a lot of times, especially dealing with our children, everything isn't always geared towards us. I have to talk to somebody that looks like me and can feel what I feel, understand what I've been through, for me to feel open enough to even talk to them.
Yeah.
So it's all about us just finding that safe space. But I really urge, especially this time, with the winter months coming, I just feel like it's very important this year because there's so much going on. So many things are changing, especially within the city. Laws and things are changing up underneath our nose. We got all types of stuff going on, and it's just really time for us to buckle down and rebuild our communities in a healthy way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we had a couple of comments. I'm on.
Okay.
I'm looking at my show as
Okay.
I'm interviewing you and trying. So I put your stuff down. That's something new for me because everybody know social media
Gotcha.
for me is the devil. But you, I'm loving the information. Good job. That is from my brother Daniel.
Thank
He will be
you.
on our platform as well later on in the months coming.
Yes.
And then I also had um, your family member Tamika. She gave a heart
I
as
told you that's
well.
my ace. That's
Yes, yes,
my
yes. I
ace.
also had someone say, "Hey, sis." I think that was Claire Green.
Oh, yes, that's
Claire.
actually the sis that I was telling you about.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, that's one of my sisters I was telling you about. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay. And then my next door neighbor, used to be next door neighbor, Miss Jean. Hey, Jean, thanks for watching.
Hey, Miss
She was like,
Jean.
hey, she from Southeast herself.
Yes, Auntie, I'm a been a
Um,
road baby. Hey.
yes, that's who else we got here. We got somebody else that said, trying to do both at the same time here. Awesome session out there, right? Thank you for joining. And then we
Thank
had someone
you.
else that says, yes, this was beautiful. I love you, cousin. And that is
Oh,
from okay, I might get you now. It sounds like Luana, but it's Kwana,
okay.
Manley.
Oh, Kiana,
Kiana.
yeah.
Okay, see, sorry, Kiana. Look, that's a Q. I'm just saying, where the K at? Look, I be getting people names
That's
messed
that Jersey. That's that Jersey.
Oh, they from Jersey.
Nah,
Okay.
for
Oh,
you,
that's
more for
me. Me.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Hey. Okay. Okay. So you got some love on here, but y'all, thank you for watching.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for
having
watching
me.
and tuning in. This was a great interview. I learned stuff from you that I didn't know, which is very, all I can say is wow. All I can say is thank God we don't look like we've been through.
Amen to that.
Because you sitting there, I would never have guessed anything. You understand? I'm just,
Yeah.
I would never guess. But all I can say is
Thank
keep
you.
pushing and keep moving. And any
Thank
way that
you.
I can help and assist, let me know. But keep pushing and
I appreciate
keep
you.
helping our young folks because they need an ear and they need
Yeah.
to know that people in the community that do understand that whatever they going through, we've been there too. We might
Yeah.
look like we all together now, but guess what? We've been where you was at,
Yeah.
and if
Is there
and
nothing wrong with showing them that, hey, we fall apart too? We so busy
yes,
trying to be Superwoman and Superman, we forget we got to show our kids that
yes.
even those with capes need a little help too.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's great. So thank you guys for
Thank
tuning
you.
in. Make sure you follow Jamilah. Make sure you follow her on her Instagram. Please sign up for her 6 months. I'm gonna try to do it. And when you said 6 months, I'm like, it get hot, it get cold. You
I
want some
got you.
look, you want some ice cream with some apple pie because it's cold outside. You just need that little comfort food. You know what I mean? Like, okay, like when
Just follow that with some alkaline water and do your walk the next morning, sis. That's
okay.
all you
Now
gotta
work
do.
look, working out I can do. I work out every day. So I have no
Hey.
problem with working out. It's the problem with eating. I can eat. Like I tell anybody, I be like, just to let you know, I'm not I'm not a skinny chick. I eat.
Uh,
So don't think, oh, I just have an appetizer. No, I want an appetizer. I want a
a
meal and I want
meal,
a
a
dessert.
dessert. Yes, Lord.
So when you ask me to go to dinner, just know she can eat. But in saying that, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great rest of the week. Stay safe. Have a great weekend. And it's still COVID out here. Wear your mask and stay safe. You
Yes,
sick? Stay home.
please.
Please stay home. So in saying that, have a great evening. Stay on.
Bye.